analysis and comparisons are some of the things that gamers look forward to when they're picking games that they actually are looking forward to. Some more than others, but there are a lot of places you can get these pieces of information from. One such source is Digital Foundry, and man, it looks like a developer is finally fighting back against the things that Digital Foundry had to say in their latest video. So we're going to talk about that right now. What up everybody, it's your boy Gaming Forte, back at it with another video. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, it really helps out the channel a lot. But 34 big things, makers of the fast-paced Redout Lightspeed Edition that's on the Xbox One and PS4, just had their game put through one of these digital analysis from Digital Foundry, one of the foremost industry leaders when it comes to this type of content. Gamers really look forward to these technical analysis from Digital Foundry because first of all, it helps them pick the game on the console that they want to play it on, and it actually helps validate the purchase that they have on that system. Not saying that you should let another person validate why you want to buy a game on a particular platform, but there is a market for that. The console war is flourishing just because of analysis like this. When a game is running at subpar frame rates and subpar resolutions, Digital Foundry is there to point those things out. It also just gives the console war even more fuel because people just like having to say that their system is better than somebody else's by saying that the games that run on that system are better than yours. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is something that actually helps sell and market the system that they are playing on. And yeah, some people look down on the fact that some people are actually working free of charge for Sony and Microsoft by just championing on this console war. But honestly, I don't see anything wrong with it. It really just comes down to the type of person you are and if you're just real with yourself, because there are a lot of fake gamers out there that say I'm an Xbox fan or I'm a PlayStation fan or I'm a neutral. Let me tell you one thing, there's really no such thing as a neutral. Everybody has their favorite platform. Mine just happens to be Xbox, but I still own all platforms. I'm a fan of games and I am a fan of Xbox, so I will always have an Xbox platform in my house unless they just do something so egregious that I just can't stick with them any longer. But fortunately, that's never going to happen, and I'm getting off topic, so let's bring it back in. So Digital Foundry put out a video earlier today talking about Redout and how the frame rate was a little bit more unstable on the Xbox One X versus the PS4 Pro, which runs at a rock solid 60 frames per second with 4K checkerboarding up to 4K. And a lot of people were wondering what the Xbox One X version was running at. Digital Foundry actually came out and said that they were kind of perplexed by the performance of the Xbox One X because it was running with a 4K HUD, but the game was actually running only at 1080p, and it was having like situational frame rate drops into the mid 50s. And for a system that has 40% more power than the other, it seems like this should not be happening. So they actually just said back and forth that the PS4 version would probably be the better way to go because it's the more stable version, but the Xbox One X version is actually running on an unlocked frame rate on the Xbox One X and is still using the original code from the Xbox One base system. So as you can guess from something like this, all the people that were actually fighting this console war or just fans of this game in general just took to Twitter and started tweeting at 34 big things about how horrible the game was and how they were lazy developers. I actually have WCC FText up here, and you can just see that there is a bunch of remarks and tweets right to 34 big things about how lazy developer they are, how Digital Foundry actually exposed them, and how could you bring out a version of the game like this and actually just mess over the Xbox One X version like this. This is disappointing. These enhancements are poor and lazy, and this is all stemming from Digital Foundry and what they had to say in their video earlier today. Now, Digital Foundry didn't say that the game was broken. They just said that they thought that it was something wrong with the actual game itself. Well, come to find out that 34 big things is categorically denying Digital Foundry's Redout Xbox One analysis, and guess what? They're threatening a legal action lawsuit. This is something that I've never seen happen before because, like I said earlier, Digital Foundry is one of those entities that are very well trusted and people kind of treat it as law and gospel. And that seems to be the problem right there, because you should never take somebody else's word over your own instincts and actually trying the product out for yourself. Me personally, I've never really been a person that looked at it like, oh my God, I gotta have the best frame rate, or oh my God, I gotta have the best performance, because if that was the case, I would play on my PC way more than I actually actually do. Now, don't get me wrong, those things are important, but the gameplay is the most important. And they did come out and say that they are aware of the stuttering and hitching when it comes to the frame rate itself, and they are actually working to actually fix that going forward. But they did say that the game does actually have a dynamic scaler in it, and it does go above 1080p, unlike what Digital Foundry said in their video where they said it's at a 1080p signal and that's it, with a 4K overlay with the HUD on top of it. But you know what? I want to get to the meat of this story. I want to get to the part where they actually talked to the CEO, Valerio Donato, about what actually happened and what they woke up to on this very nice and cloudy Saturday morning. He said, waking up to a shitstorm raging upon you based on what we call incompetent technical analysis at best, fake news at worst. Wow. Incompetent at best, fake news at worst. Now, no one has really came out and actually said that Digital Foundry actually was incompetent and that they put out fake news, but hey, this guy just said it. And trust me, he goes on a little bit more. He also talks about how Digital Foundry might have been a competent source of technical information in the past, but it may be going down the road of clickbaiting. That's crazy. Clickbaiting, wow. They just published an opinionated video on our game, Redout, in which they talked about the Xbox One X performance, frame rate, and resolution, mentioning over and over that Redout shows a 1080p rendering for the Xbox One X version. This is a pure straight lie. The Xbox One X got an enhancement update a couple of weeks ago, which brings 4K rendering with dynamic resolution scaling to everyone, owner or not of a 4K TV. More specifically, we managed to scale the resolution between 90 and 50% of native 4K, which means the resolution goes from the upper limits of 3456 by 1944 to the lower one of 1920 by 1080. This was also confirmed by VG Techs, and as you can see on the screen, this is their graph. And the fact that another technical analysis actually verified this is really not good for Digital Foundry. So they actually said that more technical details on this will follow in the next few days when everybody gets back from holiday vacation. But meanwhile, let us spell it out, it's not 1080p. Wow, that's damning, because this is the first time an actual developer has come out to really defend their game. Now, I'm actually surprised that this haven't happened before, because Digital Foundry has came out and said some very scathing things about some games in their analysis and how they weren't working. Now, they're always very professional about how they actually present it in the video. They don't really bash the developer or anything. They just say that they think it's something wrong with it and just want to bring some type of attention to it. But this is the first time a developer came out and said, no, there's nothing wrong with our game, you're doing it wrong. And wow, that's a huge statement. Now, the article continues and they're talking about the 60 frame per second pacing and the hiccups that's happening is dropping to as low as 45 frames. And I already talked about it earlier, but they're actually saying they're going to fix that, and that will be something that they're going to work on going forward. But they wanted to just keep reiterating the fact that the 1080p talk is completely fake. It does not render only at 1080p. It renders above 1080p with a dynamic scaling resolution. And the tug of war between Xbox One and PS4 is real, and a lot of people are going to be talking about this for a while now, because Digital Foundry has a chink in its armor legitimately now, because what's going to happen going forward? So they're already talking about having legal actions. I don't know if they can really do anything, because Digital Foundry just had a hiccup and probably just didn't look at the actual game the correct way, or they missed something. But this is going to be something that's going to really hinder them going forward. So the next time a game comes out that is radically different on another system, are people going to take it as gospel, or are they going to use this as an opportunity to actually ask more questions? And then Digital Foundry is going to have to do a lot better with actually following up on all of these different analysis that they do when they say we're going to go back to it and look at it at a later date when it gets more patches and stuff. They do that for some of the bigger games, but they don't do it for a lot of the little games. And I know a lot of these little games are some of the games that come out the most, and those are the ones that actually drive some sales too. So it's not fair to those developers to not have their game highlighted more than once compared to these bigger games that get it done all the time. But overall, guys, this was a fascinating discovery, and I really look forward to news like this, because right now there's really nothing to talk about other than a couple other things that I got some videos that I'm making right now. Some stuff that happened over the last week, some stuff that happened this week, because I'm still trying to get caught up from the whole holiday craze and get myself back in the saddle and making videos on a constant and regular basis. So going forward, guys, I want you to really think about the things you see, the things you say, or the things that you watch in YouTube videos or comment sections and stuff, because just because it says it's one way, do your own research to see if that's actually the case. Don't use just one source for all of your information. Find other sources to confirm and back that up. And I really want to know what you guys got to say about this, because I know a lot of you really watch Digital Foundry and you look at the things that they say. Do you really take it as gospel? Do you just use it as just another piece of information to complete your analysis of your own? Or is it something that you don't even pay attention to? I really want to hear about that in the comment section from you guys, because I was one of those people that really looked at what they said, but I didn't just use that as the end and be all of everything gaming from Digital Foundry. So with that said, I really appreciate you all watching this video, and make sure you sub to the channel if you haven't, like this video if you like the content, and hit that notification button. It's gonna let you know the next time my videos go live. It's your boy Gaming Forte. You guys have a great week, and I'm gonna talk to you in the next video. Happy New Year and have a good night. Peace.